guys, welcome back to CJ's Keto Kitchen. Tonight we're going to be making a yummy and delicious snack that you will have a hard time keeping your hands off of. And it's going to be salted caramel nut brittle. So come along with me and let's get started. A very simple recipe. It only has about 3 ingredients and it doesn't take a lot of time. You just have to be patient. So let's go ahead and get started making our brittle. Okay, for this recipe, you are going to need a medium-sized saucepan. You are also going to need a sheet pan, and it needs to be coated with either parchment paper, which I have here with my oven-safe clips. We get a lot of questions about these clips. They will be linked in the description box in our Amazon favorites if you are interested in purchasing something like this. I find them very indispensable for holding down my parchment paper. If you don't have parchment paper, you could use a silicone mat, but either one will make it a lot easier for your brittle to be removable from your sheet tray. If you do not use some kind of parchment paper or silicone, you won't be able to get it off because it's candied, basically. The other thing that you're going to be needing is deluxe mixed nuts. And this is a combination of pecans, almonds, cashews. I have removed the Brazil nuts just because they're overly large. If you wanted to keep the Brazil nuts in there, you absolutely could. And this mix also has macadamia nuts. This mix does not have peanuts, but you can use any nuts that you prefer. This is just a nice variety of different nuts. And I have re-roasted mine for about 8 to 10 minutes at 350 degrees. It's just an additional step. You don't have to do it, but sometimes it can take away the jarred nut taste and kind of bring out the natural oils of the nuts again, just so that they're nice and crispy. So mostly everything is going to be done in our medium saucepan. And into our medium saucepan, we are going to put 3/4 of a cup of natural granular erythritol sweetener. You can use white if you prefer, or you can also use golden. Either one will work, but it does need to be granular, and we want 3/4 of a cup. To our natural sweetener, we are going to add 2 tablespoons of water. So in the bottom of the saucepan, I simply combined our water and our sweetener with a fork just to get it damp. You want to turn your heat on to about medium-high. So I'm going to do it at about 7 for now. So that's 7 on my stove, but of course everyone's stovetop is different. Some people have medium, medium-high, medium-low, etc. Mine is numbered. So I'm doing it right in between the 7 and the 8. So this is going to start heating up, and we are not going to stir this. We are going to swirl this. So as the heat rises, we will simply be swirling it on our burner. And we are going to swirl our sweetener and water combination for between 5 to 7 minutes. And this is just going to assist our sweetener in dissolving and making our candy-like substance for our nut brittle. Now I'm already starting with a caramelized product because I am using a natural brown sugar alternative. If you're starting with white erythritol, you will know that it is done when it starts to get brown, kind of caramel colored. This starts out caramel colored, so we are basically going to just be using a time to know when it is done. Set a timer for 7 minutes.
7 minutes.
So this is the only time constrained step of this dish, is just waiting for our sugars to solidify. That's really the only time-intensive part of this recipe, and you do have to watch it because you do not want this to scorch.
been days, but you never change. What's love got to do with it? He comes around, better knock that stuff down. Come a little bit closer. Yeah, yeah. Come a little bit closer.
You can see in here that it's starting to bubble.
So all my ladies who got a brother that doesn't treat them right, put your finger right in his face and tell that man bye-bye. I'm too fly. I'm too fly. Bye-bye. 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 You're a little bit selfish. You get mad every time you lose. You can't take me with you. I'm scared you're gonna blow your fuse. Come a little bit closer. Yeah, I can really start over. Yeah, in the back of my mind, there's someone waiting on me. You're just wasting my time because you're scared and lonely. Finally got some closure. Yeah, I can finally start over. Yeah. So all my ladies who got a brother that doesn't treat them right, put your finger right in his face and tell that man bye-bye. I'm too fly. I'm too fly. Bye-bye. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.
I'm going to turn my heat down just a little, between 6 and 7.
That you left me. I'm glad that's what you believe. So all my ladies who got a brother that doesn't treat them right, put your finger.
Okay, I let my caramel go for about 6 minutes, and now I'm going to add a teaspoon of vanilla, and I'm doing this off the heat because this is going to bubble up. Swirl your pan to include your vanilla. Remember to do it off the heat because it does bubble up. Okay, so our burner is off and we are off the heat. We are now going to add our 2 cups of nuts. And I'm going to use 2 spoons to stir the nuts and combine them in our sauce. And you want to do this quickly and get all of your nuts combined. So now we are going to pour this out onto our tray. And we are just going to smooth that out. And because this is a salted caramel nut, I'm going to be adding one more thing. I'm going to be adding flaky sea salt. So this is salt that has a larger flake to it. And I'm just going to sprinkle that liberally on my brittle. So you will have that salty sweet aspect. And do it however much you enjoy, but it makes it look pretty as well. So we are going to let this cool, and then we are going to let CJ have a taste. Okay, so I wanted to talk about how things will look based on what type of natural sweetener that you use. The first time I made this recipe, I used a natural granular sweetener that was a much lighter golden. So it was more in keeping with what a traditional white granular erythritol sweetener would be. So, and it produced a much lighter colored brittle. So you can see it's very light. And then the ones that I did today, using a little bit darker of a golden erythritol, candied the actual nuts quite a bit more and didn't provide as much of the brittle around the nut. So they're still candied and they're still brittle, but this one actually clung to the nuts quite a bit more. So based on what type of sweetener you use, you might get a different results, but both of them are equally delicious according to CJ. Hi.
Hi.
How about some salted caramel nut brittle?
Yeah. How about some?
Sound good?
Yeah, sounds good.
Alright, there it is. Ready for a taste test.
Alright, so we actually have combined 2 batches. We have I guess the first batch that was made with more of a lighter brown erythritol, different brand. And then we have the newest batch that we made on video, which was made with a darker brown. Maybe it's closer to the Sucre Gold.
Yes.
As far as the color, and
right.
It was a much darker brown.
Right.
And it's interesting because they look different as far as like this one looks more like, I guess what you think of like peanut brittle. Cause
it has more of a pool.
You can see the pool and you can see the,
right.
The
separation
of the nuts. I keep wanting to say sugar, but this isn't sugar. This is natural sweetener, but it still caramelizes much like sugar does. So, it just kind of depends. We know that all of us aren't going to have the same product, but it is important that you use granulated sweetener, from what I understand from Sarah, because I was here when she was making it. So that's the batch with the more brown, kind of like Sucre and Gold kind of flavor.
I can hear the crunch from over here. It's fairly crunchy.
Very crunchy. It's sweet. I will say this. These are very addictive. These are very, is it addictive or addicting?
Either one.
Anyway, these are very addictive. So
I think it's the umami, that salty sweet thing.
yeah,
you
need to be careful with these. I mean, because it's easy to overdo it and to eat too much of this. So I actually will be glad when these are gone. And maybe we should freeze some, or I don't know, if we know some keto people we can give this to. But we're social distancing with everybody, so we can't give it to anybody. But
can you do like Meals on Wheels? Like leave it on their doorstep?
Yeah, we can just drop it off, throw it at your porch. But it's really good. It's a really nice treat, but you do have to be careful of it because it's easy to overindulge. Good job, baby. I think people can make this, and I think I could even make it.
Yeah.
And
you have made brittle before.
Yes, and we'll include that in the video description. If you go to that video, yes, I know the pans were dirty. I made 2 batches and I put the film together, so I don't want to hear about it. Thanks for watching.
Thanks for the PSA.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Thanks for joining us again tonight, you guys. We hope that you enjoy the brittle. I know that we definitely are, and it is definitely something that you have to portion control because it is very delicious with that sweet and salty combination. We hope that you will consider subscribing and hitting the notification bell so that you know when we upload new recipes. Our new recipes go up every Sunday. And on Wednesdays, we have Keto Conversations, and that's where we get together and we talk about different ketogenic topics. Sometimes we have keto food unboxings. We talk about what we eat on this lifestyle, and we just get together and support one another on this keto journey. So definitely hit the bell so that you know when our videos go up. We are also on social media. We are on Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, and Pinterest. And we release teaser photographs of what we are eating and recipes that we are making. And also other people that follow us will post their photographs and their comments on our recipes as well. So definitely check us out there. And that is CJ's Keto Kitchen. If you need information for this recipe, all of the ingredients, the macros, most of our recipes are principal, or any of the other recipes that we have made, those are always found on our blog, and that is cjsketokitchen.com. And there we also talk about tips and tricks that I learned while making this recipe, and CJ puts his taste test follow-up there as well. So definitely head over there and check it out. We hope that you will come back and see us again next time. And until that time, stay well. Bye.
Mm-hmm.